In this lesson, we will skin the eyebrows. Let's bring the character back, and we'll add our new envelope objects. Alright, so we'll go ahead and scroll up, and let's go ahead and search for BN underscore, and there they are. So we'll go ahead and add all 6 objects. We'll just go ahead and control click to grab them, and we'll choose select. Alright, great. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our weighting. Let's make sure that it hasn't been changed drastically. Let's go ahead and start moving our jaw, and you can see, wow, our weighting is totally off. And that's simply because of the objects that we've added. But honestly, this is very easy to fix. Let's go ahead and select the character's face, and we'll enter into edit envelope mode, and we'll take a look at the influence that one of these objects has. We'll just go ahead and click and take a look. It takes up the entire face, so that's why our weighting was thrown off. But this is actually very simple to tweak. We can go to this outer region here, and we can control how much influence this actually has. So watch this. If we go to the outer region, not the inner one, because we can adjust the inner one by zeroing out the outer one essentially. So if we were to go ahead and grab one of these handles here and scroll down until we find our envelope properties, we can go to the radius and just simply right click on the slider to zero it out, and take a look, that influence has been removed. So we'll want to do that for the others. Again, we select the next object. We'll take a look at how much influence it has. We'll go to its outer handle. We'll go ahead and zero that out. We'll do the same thing for the other one, on the other side of the envelope. We'll go ahead and right click, and now that influence has been removed. Let's do that for the other 4. I'll pause the video and get that taken care of, and then we'll go ahead and take a look at how our deformations look afterwards. So I've zeroed out the others, so let's go ahead and grab our upper jaw. We'll go ahead and select the nub, hit page up. Let's go ahead and start moving that around and see if we get the same result. So take a look, our weighting is just fine. That was a close one, right? So we just have to concern ourselves with the envelope capsules once we add new influences. And if they have too much influence, well, we can either zero them out or we can adjust them to a point where we don't lose any work. So what we'd want to do now is go ahead and actually start weight painting. And we know how to do that already, so I won't spend too much time on this step, but we want to make sure that the brows feel very pliable, and in the end will produce a very organic looking shape. So to do that, again, we just go ahead and grab our weight tool. I'll go ahead and focus on envelope B here. So let's go ahead and grab our paintbrush settings. Make sure it's set to 1. Our max size, that should be good. I'll go ahead and just double check. 0.5, I think that's going to work out well. We'll then go in, grab what we'd like to paint to. Go ahead and grab our brush, and we'll go ahead and block and weight. Alright, so we'll go ahead and fill this in. And then the areas on the outside, we can basically bring down our weight a bit. But if you would like, you can go ahead and fill in weight first, and then you can add animation on the other objects just to get an idea of how much control you would like the other objects to have. But we should have some really nice volume. For example, if we were to go ahead and select object A and start to paint, we can go ahead and fill this in. The goal is to get some really nice volume and to get some nice creasing. We don't want to paint too much where we lose volume in the Procerus. We have to be really careful about that, and that's why we want to keep a mirror nearby to use our own face as reference. Alright, so once we've managed to block this in, we can then go ahead and turn off our paintbrush, go ahead and start to move these objects around. See how much influence they have. Alright, this is looking pretty cool. And what's great is that we also have rotation control and scaling control. So we can get some very stylized looking results if we would like. Alright, so that's what we basically want to do. Just go through and kind of weight the brows. And remember, what counts is the high-res version of the mesh. If you don't want to work with Turbo Smooth, you could always work with Mesh Smooth. I'll go ahead and press the M key. With the face selected, going to our modifier list, we'll just go ahead and add the Mesh Smooth modifier. Alright, so take a look at what happens now when we grab that same envelope object and we start to kind of move that. So what we want is some really nice volume. And this looks great. Of course, there are more points we can go ahead and weight to, but you get the idea. Alright, so I'll go ahead and Alt-right click and use Transform to 0 to bring that object back. And then feel free to remove your Mesh Smooth node. Bring it back from time to time just to take a look at your deformations. But that's going to be it for this lesson. So we're ready to start building controls. We're just about done with our rig. In the next lesson, we're going to go ahead and work on setting up our control objects for the neck, head, and our jaws.